Back to the Future is my favourite film trilogy of all time, and it has been for as long as I can remember. One of my earliest memories and one of the first rides I ever went on when I was very young was Back to the Future the ride at Universal Studios Orlando. The ride got me into the films, and since then I can't even tell you how many times I must have watched all three films. I even have a big glass cabinet filled with Back to the Future collectibles which I've collected over the years. So, as you can imagine, I was very excited to hear that a Back to the Future exhibition was coming to the UK. Now, this exhibition opened at the end of November, but it isn't permanent. If you want to go check it out, you've got until the 23rd of April to head down to London. But if you can't make it before it closes, then I'll be sharing it all in today's video.
You're gonna see some serious.
This exhibition can be found in Camden in London. It's located on the lower ground floor of Hawley Wharf, but there's signs which will direct you to the location. Being in Camden Market, it can be quite busy in that area, but the exhibition itself was very quiet when we visited, and we went on a Sunday. So if you were to go midweek, I'd imagine it would be even more quiet. But anyway, let's head on in and have a look around. So here we go, let's head on into the Back to the Future exhibition. It's very quiet here as well, I'm liking it because it's very, very busy in Camden. So it's nice to get away from it and check out some Back to the Future stuff. Here we go. So the Back to the Future exhibition is full of screen-used props, and as you enter the first part of the exhibition, you come across a very special suit which was worn in the original 1985 film. This is the radiation suit which Marty wore when Doc puts that radiation into the DeLorean time machine. It's just crazy to think that Michael J. Fox would have worn this all those years ago. You can also see on the screen behind some shots of Marty in the suit, and it also shows some marks too, which can be identified on the actual radiation suit, so you can tell this is 100% the real deal. So as well as the films, they also had some props used in Back to the Future the ride at Universal Studios. Now, with this being a theme park channel, a lot of my subscribers will find this interesting, and I find this very interesting, because as I mentioned earlier, the ride is what got me into the films. So seeing the props in real life was amazing. This license plate was stuck to the back of the flying DeLorean in the ride footage. They also had a resin truck which was used in the scenes for the ride footage. If you didn't know, all the scenes for the ride were actually models, and this truck was in one of them. Oh, I really do miss that ride. It was overtaken by The Simpsons, which I also love. However, I wish Back to the Future would come back, because that was such a good ride, and it got me into theme parks, it got me into this film. And over here, we've got another screen-used prop. So this is the Back to the Future Part 3 Marty stunt gun belt and holster. This gun holster belt was created by the production specifically for the filming a Hill Valley Western scene set in 1885. This item was allegedly used by Michael J. Fox's stuntman, as it bears the inscription "Cast Stunts" on the inside of the belt. Okay, so Michael J. Fox didn't wear that, but his stunt double did.
I didn't know that he played his own daughter.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
So they're the shorts they wore.
Oh wow. I think you should get a pair of these shorts.
Oh,
you could rock them. So yeah, this is also screen used. We got some concept art photos and production documents. What I find crazy is these have all been kept in such good condition, but they all must be super old. From the 1984, November 26, 1984. And here, oh wow, this is awesome. So this was used during the production of Back to the Future 2. Griff's hockey glove. We've got Griff's baseball bat. The Slugger 2000 baseball bat represents, together with Griff's futuristic hockey glove, one of the rarest pieces in the collection. I can't believe they actually have this. This is literally the bat that Griff holds in the film in Back to the Future 2, and his glove. What we got here?
That is amazing.
What? The wristwatch with film logo made for the cast and crew on Back to the Future. So I don't know if you can read that. It says this watch was custom made for key cast and crew members that worked on the iconic 1980 science fiction motion picture Back to the Future. So yeah, that was literally given to.
And the person who had it since the end of filming was Robert Inner.
Yeah, I don't know how to say his surname.
Yarnaco?
That guy.
He was a costume supervisor.
What we got over here? We got some more newspaper stuff. So we got another Hill Valley Telegraph, another one over here. All Screen News. We've got the Screen News Save the Clock Tower flyer. This is one of the first versions of the Clock Tower flyers made during filming with Eric Stoltz. So this is literally one of the very original ones. This was filmed in the original ones without Michael J. Fox. We've got Lou's phone book page with Doc's address on there. What have we got here? We have Marty's future jacket from Back to the Future 2. And this was used, screen worn, by Michael J. Fox. This is Marty's future blow drying jacket, a one-of-a-kind jacket, the only one in the world made for that specific scene when Michael J. Fox gets out of the water and his jacket puffs up and simulates drying. No way do they have this right here in this exhibition. That is one of the most iconic moments from the films. And to think that was actually worn by Michael J. Fox. Here you can see him wearing that very same jacket in that iconic moment. Honestly, this must be one of the most rarest items in this whole exhibition. I can't imagine there to be anything more iconic than this here. You can see on there, where it's got a few different marks. Now right here on this jacket, so you can tell it's the actual one used in the film. And over here we have the rear bumper of the 2015 Taxi. I would love to just take all these home with me. I'd love to take them all home with me, just display them in my own house and look at them every day. But I can imagine that would cost a fair amount of money. So we got some stuff over here from Biff's Pleasure Paradise. So these are from Back to the Future 2. So we've got the Biff Co stickers and matchbooks. And you got some more matchbooks over here, along with a sign at the back. Another iconic piece over here, we've got the screen used Marty's cassette player and the headphones too. You can see him wearing them on this photo. So this is from the original Back to the Future film. So this is the AWA Walkman used during the production of the first film. It can be seen in one of the main scenes where Marty has to convince his father George to invite his mother Lorraine to the enchantment under the sea dance, pretending to be Darth Vader and threatening to melt his brain to the sound of Van Halen music. So another iconic scene. And in here we have got the Pizza Hut bag for the dehydrated pizza. So this one was used in Back to the Future 2. You can see it being used in the film right there. We've got some more screen used props. We have Doc's walkie-talkie, which is awesome. So this single walkie-talkie is part of a pair that were used in the second film. We've got Lou's Cafe 1955 single-page phone book. Honestly, there's so much here in this exhibition. It was a lot more than I was expecting. Got the Easy Sleep device that Doc uses. Wow, what is that?
That hits the face when they make him old.
Oh my god. What's his name? Jeffrey Wiseman, I think it is. Yeah. The facial makeup was used by actor Jeffrey Wiseman on the last day of filming Back to the Future 2. Oh yeah, you can see him putting it on.
How do they preserve that?
Whoa, that's actually really creepy. It looks it looks like Leatherface.
How do they preserve that?
That is, I have no idea, because Back to the Future 2, when was Back to the Future 2? 1989, so that has been preserved since 1989.
It's making me feel a bit weird.
That is creepy. It's creepy, but it's cool. Back onto here, this is another one of the iconic scenes from Back to the Future 2, where Doc uses this device to put Jennifer to sleep. So only two authenticated versions of this prop exist, one with a functioning internal mechanism and the other without such mechanism. So this example is the one with the functional internal system, and it was used in the scenes. You can see Doc using it there to put Jennifer to sleep. There's honestly so much in this exhibition. There's even a little Enchantment Under the Sea photo op, where you can have a photo with Marty's guitar, which is really cool. There's that much stuff, but it's actually spread across 2 floors. So after we checked out the first floor, we headed up the stairs and had a look at some more. This is Doc Brown's shirt. Which one was this one using? Back to the original Back to the Future. So this shirt...
Never used.
Oh, it was never used. I was going to say, I can't remember seeing the shirt ever. But yeah, it says the shirt was made by production of the first film for an ending scene that was cut and never filmed. We've got Lorraine's shirt from 1985. So this is the only shirt worn by Leah Thompson in the scene of the movie, and the pattern on the shirt matches exactly. Okay, so now onto one of the rarest props in the whole exhibition. Just like with the jacket we saw earlier, this here is one of Marty's self-tying Nike trainers, which was worn by Michael J. Fox during the filming of Back to the Future 2. Some of the items in this exhibition are that rare that they even use temperature control to make sure they're kept in perfect condition. And this is one of them that has that temperature control inside. So this single left Nike shoe from the future is one of the very few created with a functioning lighting system. In fact, 3 pairs at most were created for Michael J. Fox. So he would have worn this. He would have worn this in Back to the Future 2. They are looking a bit worn now, but they are of course very old. And that is why they keep it at that temperature. And it's roped off as well, it's one of the only things that are roped off here. And here it shows you him wearing that shoe and the hoverboard.
You can see how thin they were, you can see his toe.
Yeah. But it would have had to have been, wouldn't they? Because an action scene like that, you can't be wearing something super heavy on your feet. Frisbee pie pan. So this was used in the film. It was screen used by Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly. This pie pan was one of about 15 made for filming and used during the dance. Oh wow. So this is the DeLorean plutonium fuel cell from the original Back to the Future. This is one of the plutonium fuel cells from the opening scenes in Twin Pines Mall. So one of the most iconic scenes in the whole of the trilogy, and it's right there. We've also got photos down here of Doc using that plutonium fuel cell. So we got some more props from Back to the Future the ride here, and this was the mind-reading helmet that Doc wears. So this mind-reading helmet was used during the pre-show, which I remember very, very well. In fact, if you buy the DVDs of Back to the Future, in some of the bonus features, it actually does include some of the Back to the Future the ride footage, and the pre-show footage is on there. So if you've got the DVD, check it out. And here we have the Future Diet Pepsi that was used on screen in Back to the Future 2. We've also got the bottle of Pepsi Slice as well. We've got Wild Gunman. You can actually play it. I don't know if I'd be any good at this, but I believe you can actually play this. I'm a bit scared to touch it. It seems very fragile. It actually tells you how to play it here. So you press the green number 2 button down for a few seconds. I just picked up the gun and hoped it would work, but yeah. And yeah, you can start shooting cowboys like Marty McFly. So this here is a Bifco Enterprises napkin, and we were thinking that this was the one that was used in the film, but it looked very clean, so we read into it, and it's actually a backup prop. So it wasn't actually used in the film, but it was there when they made the film, and it was bought directly from the Back to the Future website. So yeah, this is definitely legit. So they actually have props from the Enchantment Under the Sea dance. Some of the decorations, so these were used on the film, and it was on Back to the Future 2. So when they had to recreate the ball set from the first film, these ones were used. So these are the 2 of the foam core fish that were hanging from the ceiling at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance. The prop department had to recreate everything from the scene in the first movie, as almost nothing was kept, which is very surprising. You thought they would have kept them. So yeah, we would have to recreate these perfectly to make it look exactly like the original film. And over here, we have got Marty's Western shirt from Back to the Future 3. can see him wearing it right there. It's missing some tassels. Oh no. So this shirt was worn on screen by Michael J. Fox, and this is the pink western shirt that Doc gave to Marty before sending him back to the year 1885. Over here we've got the Grey Sports Almanac. Now I have a replica version of this, but this is a bit different because this is screen used. So this is used by Tom Wilson as Biff Tannen and Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly. Some of the almanacs had the football scores page in them and some did not. This one does have that page. If you look at the movie when old Biff is talking to young Biff in the car, you can see he turns to a page of football scores and listens to the radio broadcast at the same time. Both teams and the score spoken on the radio are on this page. And here we've got the Pepsi Perfect. I'm guessing this is also screen used. So this is a very rare example of a Pepsi Perfect bottle without an opening cap. It was made to contain a liquid which was sealed inside and traces of which can still be seen. So it's literally got traces of Pepsi in it from the film. Wow. So here we have the out of time license plate. So the last one we saw was from the ride. This one's from the film. So this license plate obtained directly from property master John Zemanski is one of the few that were created for the DeLoreans of the first Back to the Future. So this one would have been used in the film on the DeLorean in that original film. Another screen use prop here of the Cadillac model that was used to shoot the first part of the scene where Doc simulates how the lightning strike would hit the DeLorean. As you can see here, Michael J. Fox holding it back when they filmed the original Back to the Future film. Here we've got George McFly's jacket. So this is the 1950 style jacket worn by actor Chris McGlover during the filming of the first movie. So it can be seen in several hilarious early sequences set in Hill Valley in 1955, both inside the school and outside. So yeah, this jacket would have been worn in some of those iconic scenes featuring George McFly. Now here is another very rare piece. This is the shirt that Doc wore during that iconic end scene where lightning hits the clock tower and he has to zipline down the cable to reattach it. And I'm not 100% sure on this one, but I believe that is also what Doc used to attach the cable at the top of the clock tower before ziplining down. They also had that little electric guitar that Marty plays in the first film, which he turns up to its fullest settings, which ultimately blows up the amplifier. Finally, at the end of the exhibition, you can have your photo in the DeLorean, however there is a charge for this. Having said that, it is done professionally. I've actually had a photo in the DeLorean before with Christopher Lloyd and Tom Wilson, who played Doc Brown and Biff Tannen, so I didn't choose to go for this photo op this time, but it's definitely worth it if you've never been up close to a DeLorean before, or sat in one. There's a gift shop which sells a lot of Back to the Future merchandise, from bags to mugs to action figures, and they even sell the sports almanac too. So there we have it, the Back to the Future exhibition in London. It was so good to check out all these incredible screen used props, and I would highly recommend visiting if you can before it closes in April. Depending on how long you want to look around, I'd say it'd take you around an hour to do the whole thing, so if you're visiting London and have some free time, it's something to consider, especially if you're a fan of the films. But that is it for this video. I know this is a different one from the usual content I post here, but if you enjoy theme park and adventure videos, then please consider subscribing. And of course, if you did enjoy watching, then please hit that like button to let me know. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.